They have started catching people. I hope they have heard. They will catch you someday. What's more, puppy? Gucci, Gucci. Yeah, biggie, Yahoo boy. Don't smoke, puppy. Yeah, what's more, guy? Just keep pressing. Okay, I won't talk. I'm watching. One light, they will catch you. Yeah, they will catch you. 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 Alone, they will.
Hushpuppy landed in fire. As they say it, Ramani is going to jail. Welcome, guys, to Trashing. As usual, we've got a panel that is ready to trash this. There's no point introducing anyone, because if you don't know them now you're lost. Have you guys been watching the news? I'll go to Victoria first, because there's no need me explaining what's happening right now. You cannot be living in the world, not even Nigeria, in the world. Nigerians are celebrated in a wrong way in the last 1 week. And that goes from one puppy that decides to sleep in Gucci with someone else's money. So, Victoria, talk to me. I can see you shaking and fuming.
Well, you see, my point, I'm all about mental health, right? And anything that affects people's mental health is what gets my attention. Now, in his case, a lot of hardworking people are so demoralized. It's as if, it's as if God is just unfair to them, for the ones that are Christians that believe in God, right? It's as if education is valueless. It's as if morals and conscience doesn't exist anymore, because there are certain things you do. Do you even have a conscience? How do you do that? How do you steal from people? Okay, let's say it's companies. But those companies were owned by people. Those people that own those companies, they borrowed money from a bank. They are in debt, right? Just to make sure that they create something where they employ people, and those people are able to feed their families. Now you target those, I'm just saying companies now, I'm not even saying an individual. Companies. Now you target companies and you defraud them. And the one I don't even appreciate is you flaunt them. It's like you're daring the system. Okay. It's like you're daring the universe that nothing can happen to you. Like your evil and your negativity and everything evil about you is glorified.
Okay, now Victoria, let me just shift gear and go to Celia, because Victoria touched on something. It wasn't actually, let's just say for argument's sake, he wasn't taking money or fleeting money from someone's pocket. 1.9 million to Google.
They were individuals. Don't get me wrong, they were individuals. But I'm thinking
that, but I'm just saying, let's just put in things in context now. Let's remove individuals. 1.9 million to Google might not be a lot. What's your take on it?
It's a lot. 1.9 million is a lot. So the layman that depends on that weekly check, or that depends on their monthly salaries to feed their families, to do things to make sure that in this coronavirus season that their family is well looked after, that is a lot of money. Okay, so the thing that really irritates me about this is Hushpuppy he was very selfish. He was thinking about himself. Okay, he thought about it and thought, okay, I need to make more money. How can you pry on the vulnerability of other people? Do you understand? People are vulnerable in this period. Even the strongest amongst us is still vulnerable. So why would you go and take the money that is meant for people's stimulus packages? Okay, these are families, and you just keep it for yourself and your crew. I don't understand. Honestly, it's unbelievable.
Mr. Jago Chances, I can see, because your page is always alive with things Hushpuppy.
Yeah.
And we've seen celebrities, regular average Joe on the streets going like, well, this guy has represented us and has not represented us well. So we've got Nigerians' credibility being called to question. What do you say on that?
Well, I think we've been sleeping for too long, and a lot of our people, majority of our people, they've seen scamming as a way of life now. They're not even ashamed of it anymore. They come online and you see them typing things like, this is the king of Dubai. Bless me, Baba bless me. Just small blessing, my life will be changed. And then you see a lot of celebrities, big stars in their DM saying things like, buy me ticket now, let me come and do the weekend. I was even told that some celebrities were in some of these scammers' house in Dubai, cooking on the regular.
That is something.
Yes.
Celebrities cooking for Hushpuppy.
Yes. Not just Hushpuppy. Many of these guys. Hushpuppy is not the only one there. Hushpuppy just happened to be a very loud person.
The loudest.
You know, and the truth of the matter is, when you look at people, they have different motives for going into this act. Me, I may be going into that act saying, man, I need to change my life. My life must change. Somebody else is going into that fraudulent act for blessing other people. Somebody else is doing it like going into a skyscraper and jumping off with a parachute. Everybody has different adrenaline. So you go to Dubai, stealing from every part of the world, and then your mom is living in the slum. Your dad.
Okay.
For them. And when people ask you, the thing you say is, oh, you don't know whether my mom doesn't like this lifestyle. Just like a regular Yoruba mother. I know the source of your money is bad. I'm not going to be a part of it. I prefer to remain in this place where I'm selling fried fish or where I'm selling puff-puff.
So is that what his mom has done?
That is what I have been told.
Oh, okay.
But he said something before that kinds of buttresses that. He said, you don't know whether my mom doesn't like flamboyant life. Just like Scarface. He made all the money. The mom was like, get out of my house. I don't want none of your blood money. You know? So now you have suffered before. You were selling something called Yamutire, bend down boutique.
Oh, okay.
Selling all these used clothes. And now you've moved into scamming. You've made money. You know, why can't you just keep quiet?
Okay, so before I go to Jude, Mr. Jagbajantis, are you saying because it was loud? Is that what your issue is? Because you said, why couldn't you just keep quiet? So do you mean keep quiet and continue scamming?
No, no. So basically, if you see my page, you will see that I've been attacking all these things and anybody else that is attached to them or anybody else that is glorifying them. What I'm saying right now is, I don't know if I'm allowed to use Yoruba heritage.
Don't worry, I'll translate it.
It has become ojukokoro. You can't stop.
Greedy.
Greed, God bless you, that's the word. You've done it, keep quiet, get away. Now you can't stop, and then you keep making it look like this is the life. Everybody else who hasn't got it hasn't lived life. You've lived the life of 40 years in 40 months.
Wow.
You know, private jet here and there, you know, you want everybody to believe you have the Rolls Royce. You don't even have 1/4 of what Dan Bilzerian has. Those are people who really have money legitimately. And you're trying to say, what kind of life has that Puff Daddy lived that I have not lived? Shut up. That's not what we're telling you.
Let me go to Jude, because, you know, look, flicking through Celia, Victoria, and Mr. Jagbajantis, the consensus is greed. But back in Nigeria, there's no job. The opportunities are not there, so to say. Do you think this guy is validated in what he's done? Forget greed for 2 seconds. Do you think that he's a result of the background that he's come from, given that there are no opportunities back home?
Speaking for myself, though, I came from the same Nigeria, so I had it tough as well. If I go on with my life and how sometimes I tell my children how my life was, and it's like, no, that is lying. So we're different. We're very, very different. I wasn't just about protecting my name. It was just I didn't want that sort of life. I think somebody mentioned earlier, I can't remember who did it, about the conscience thing. That is what I always looked at. I see people. I don't see the numbers. I see people behind those numbers, people behind the computers, people behind what I'm trying to do. So that's why I won't do it, because if I hurt the next person, I'm automatically hurting myself. So whatever motive he's got for going to do this is his own business. But what I wanted to say, the whole world is a scam in itself, trust me. We have the billionaires who are tax invaders, from Alan Sugar to Simon Cowell to Wayne Rooney to Rashford. All these footballers, they're all tax invaders, and it affects me and your daily life. Yeah. So I'm not justifying what he's done, but what I'm trying to say is, I was going to say earlier that okay, the flamboyant lifestyle led to this problem he's got. But Jagojatis rightly said he used to sell clothes. Now you can see why he's so up and up about fashion, why he has to put it up there. Maybe along the line, he missed all the points. He missed the blurry lines from, okay, let me flaunt this fashion and the wealth that I've stolen. Again, coming back to politicians, look at Diezani Alisi Madweke. This is where education matters, not just about degrees. We're talking about street smart and knowing the right people. Hushpuppy could have gone get diplomatic from Ghana, and he will be untouchable, just like Diezani. I'm not advising any other young guys there doing it. What he's done is absolutely wrong. He puts us in bad light as Nigerians. But come on, 10 years ago, if you say you were Nigerian, you still get the bad name, not to talk of now with Hushpuppy. So I understand why young people out there will be looking at him as, oh, this is somebody we're looking up to. The country is in a bad situation, in a dire situation. Absolutely. And if you can get out of it, this guy, Hushpuppy, one of the videos I watched, he said, I've only been flexing for 5 years. I was like, that short time, it's made all this money and this lifestyle. Like Jagodat Israeli said, live 40 years in 40 months. People want that. It's a quick, rich thing. That's what the governors do. Dino Melaye has no job history, no historical job history for him. But Dino Melaye has bought house in Dubai. Dino Melaye took picture with this Hushpuppy and came out quick and said, birds of same feathers don't flock together.
Yeah.
So you can see what I'm saying. If Dino Melaye can do with our own natural resources, our own wealth, who are we to blame Hushpuppy? Who are we to blame him when Tinubu has done the same to our people? What they've done is genocide. Hushpuppy is genocide in smaller scale, but we've got bigger thieves in Nigeria doing everything in bigger scale. So.
Celia, I can see you shaking there when they talk about genocide, because allegedly during the last election, a bullion van went to a top politician house. We all know what a bullion van carries. We're not talking about $20,000. We're talking about tens and tens and tens. And this person keeps stealing money from Lagos State. Oh, oops, did I say that? Victoria, don't put me in trouble. What I'm saying is that it's something fundamentally wrong here, because we seem to be going around the same issue. Invictus Obi was celebrated on Forbes Top 30. Now he's arrested in the United States of America. And if we continue like that, there seems to be something synonymous with Nigerians and fraud. What exactly is our problem?
I think, let me just quickly say this, yeah, Victoria, before you carry on. I think charity begins at home, right? I think it's what you learn from your home, from your environment at home. That's what you show when you go out into the world, right? Now, I'm just going to put it out there. I by no means condone what Hushpuppy did, because he stole from very vulnerable people. Now, let's look at it this way. Hushpuppy learns this from Nigeria. He learned this from home, right? Now, when coronavirus just started, a lot of people, a lot of politicians, aristocrats in Nigeria, they donated loads, billions of money, right? And they said, let's share to the people and let's help people. We want them to stay at home. We need to provide the means, right? And what happened to the money? Fire entered the secretariat and the money got burnt, okay? So what's the difference between that and what Hushpuppy did? All those people, yeah, the Lagos State government, whoever it was that money was handed over to, what did they do with the money? They've done exactly what Hushpuppy did with the American stimulus money. That's what they've done with the Nigerian stimulus money. So when I say charity begins at home, Hushpuppy has followed the footsteps of his leaders, and he has landed himself in this situation. But unfortunately, sometimes what's good for the goose is not always good for the gander, because now he's in trouble, but they're not. Those that stole the stimulus package in Nigeria, they're in Nigeria enjoying it, or wherever they've done. So here we are.
Okay, Victoria, your colleagues in Nollywood have continued to celebrate this guy. There's nobody, right from, should I be naming names? From the
I went to his page, and the comments I was seeing, honestly, and I'm not.
Risky.
No, those are. I am sometimes I always say it, I am so embarrassed. The worst abuse you can abuse me is to call me an actress. If you call me an actress, I get very, in fact, call me anything, call me a shower, but don't call me an actress. I'm true.
Not bad.
Because I am always embarrassed at what certain people do because of money. But I count myself very privileged, extremely privileged, that I don't need to do all those things to put food on my table. I don't need to sleep with a man or to, I mean, this is England, right? Even if I say, in fact, thank God, even for people that own businesses, even if that's 50K going around now, that my friends are asking me,
That's money.
Do you have any company? I said, I don't have company. Oh, I work for mine. Oh, you know? So that one alone, you know, we are okay. But my colleagues is all about fallacy, fake life, competition. And I blame it on social media. Because without social media, I don't know you. I can't see you. I don't know what you do. I can't, even with social media, how many people am I following? You understand? So this is the scourge and the downside of social media. So everybody is living that life, wanting to be who they are not.
Seeking
trying
validation.
to own what they cannot, yes, for validation. And it gets them into trouble. And at the end of the day, there's no, being a celebrity in Nigeria is such an embarrassment. Please, it's such a shame. I am saying it and I say it all the time. I am not a celebrity, I am an educator and in an academic sense, right? So let them bring all their monies and everything. How is this money made? How is it gotten? Few Jabajantis, you know, last year, we watched a video, I'm so, of someone pooing into somebody's mouth.
Oh, Celia sent it to me. Oh my God.
Yes. Now, she probably owns a G-Wagon and a house. Yes, but mental health, that person has lost it. 90% of Nigerians are just psychotic mental people. That I don't even know where to start with them. They are all it's not when, because they are wearing clothes and driving a nice car. That does not, they have lost their conscience. Their conscience is dead. They do not care how they get it, what they get it. But let them. I saw a popular trans, whatever, I don't know whether he's gay or transgender, I don't even know. He went to his father's birthday. He was dressed. He was wearing a face cap.
Bob the Risky.
He was I now knew that this guy is calm on himself.
Abi, mental illness, no.
He is a scam on him. It's not mental illness, so there's nothing wrong with him. If there was something, see, mental illness is when you portray certain characters without even being aware of it. That's when we look at you and say, this person is clearly has lost it, right? But when you are aware of what you're doing, then you're either a psychopath or you are an intentional, manipulative, systematic, evil person. Now, he wore face cap, no weave on, trouser, all the breast he's showing. So you didn't even do any breast thing. And he was, but you see, that's why sometimes I always talk about upbringing, but certain upbringings is not the problem of the parents, because he knows what his father would not tolerate. Yeah. He knows what all the boys in his hood will not tolerate. And he respected that. So everybody that are his so-called fans, he's just having a laugh at the expense of all these people.
Okay. Victoria, let me stop you there. Celia, so this scam does not just start from yesterday. This is something that people have been living with, because, you know, growing up, I don't know about everyone's growing up, but you know, growing up, the upbringing we had was that you go to school, you get a good job, you got a good career, and you live well. But the moral compass of Generation X seems all warped. What can we do to change the narrative? because it's not helping us. You were talking about an advert that you received. Do you want to shed light on that? Celia?
Yeah, sorry, say that again. I didn't get you.
Do you want to shed light on the advert that you received about a job?
Oh, yes. So I saw that on Victoria's WhatsApp status, actually. And the advert, it's an Indeed advert. Initially, I thought it was Indeed in the UK because that's an agency. And I looked at the advert and they were looking for a security officer. And then they said, you know, you have to have the experience, blah, blah, blah. Nigerians are not eligible to apply. And I'm like, what? So this is me typing to Victoria, like, what is this? This is unbelievable. It's not in the UK. Indeed, I'm going to get sued, blah, blah, blah. Because I was ready to go and attack them. And then Victoria said, no, it's not in the UK, or it's in Dubai. And this is obviously because of what happened recently by Hushpuppy. So now a lot of Nigerians everywhere are having to suffer for the sins of one person. Okay, so that's why I said in the beginning that he was selfish, because he wasn't thinking of the consequences of his actions on other people. He was just thinking about filling up his pocket and living his lavish lifestyle, and that was it. And now he's landed every Nigerian into this, right?
Dantes, we've heard notion or gist allegedly that the big men of Nigeria all started off with illegal activities. And they sort of refine their money. So who are you to call Hushpuppy out when our big bosses are doing it?
So first of all of us, we must be responsible for the choices we make when the consequences start showing up. The leaders, they're not hiding it. Those ones, they're black and white thieves. There is no
But check how they end up. Check how they are ending up and their kids.
I was getting there. So that's why I said we must be ready for the choices we make when the consequences start showing up. So that is Nigeria, right? All of us, just like Jude said, is about integrity. We all came back, we came from poor background. My daddy died when I was young. My daddy was a cocoa businessman. Cocoa they used making chocolate. We had trucks, drivers, and all the rest. I started driving when I was in class 3.
Wow.
When my popsy died.
So you're rich.
It's not rich, but I was smart enough to know how to, smuggle food out of the store, bribe the drivers. They will take me out, Whenever we were entering school, I would drive into school, my mates would see me, they would start shouting, that kind of thing. It was fun. The moment my dad died, all those things disappeared. Now, I have tasted wealth. This is hardship. I had opportunities to join cults. I did not join cults, okay? I had opportunities to get a gun. My daddy's gun was in my care. My daddy's gun, he had a double-barrel pistol that I was putting at home for protection. It was in my care. I was the firstborn. I'm still the firstborn anyway. So I entered campus, I had the gun. I did not join cults. Guys whose parents were bishops, heads of churches in CSC that we knew, they were joining confraternity. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because of the choices we made. By the time we left school, a lot of guys have died. Some made it out of school, they become changed men. Some are responsible husbands today, So now we're abroad. Some are still doing confraternity. Are you stupid? Who are you blaming that on? This is the land of opportunities. Why are you still doing fraud? Is Cameron or Tony Blair or Boris, is he your leader in Nigeria who was stealing money? Now you're in UK, you have papers, I have papers. Why are you still, what's your excuse?
Can I say something before, just come in 2 seconds, and I'll throw this to every one of you. The gist is that the white men, they colonized Nigeria, and they took all our money. And people are having an argument that, okay, Hushpuppy has gone to retrieve our money.
No.
That's correct.
When did he retrieve it? Who did he give it to?
White people.
Who did he give it to when he retrieved it? Who?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
See, that is defense mechanism right there.
Yeah.
You see, terrorists, They don't come on social media and say, oh, we're terrorists. It's good that they blow them up. It is our money they're taking back. It is the way they did us. That is why we're revenging. You will never see Asians do that. Me, I'm not a saint, and I believe nobody is a saint. I'm not here to condemn the people doing fraud, but you should not come on social media and start flaunting it and making it look like it's a normal way of life. And then all of us are paying for it. Okay, there was a time I got a job in Qatar because I'm into programming. I'm a project planner who left and moved into marine. But when I was doing that job, I got a job in Qatar. It was $80,000 a year as a project planner, construction project planner. It's an IT job. And my wife was moving close to delivery then. And she was like, how am I going to do this alone? Blah, 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 blah. To cut long story short, I could not go. If I had applied with a Nigerian passport, there is no way they would have given me that job. Because all the other guys who applied for that job from Nigeria, they did not get the job. And it was a Nigerian person that told me about the job. You see, what that's in line with what you were saying about the job adverts.
Yeah.
That they don't want to see Nigerians. It is because of these things. That's the consequences I'm talking about. If you're stealing, keep quiet. You're not stealing from my money. If you steal from my money, I don't have any business with you. Insurance will pay for it. It is the bank that will deal with it. So what's my own? If anybody steals money from my account, I'll go and meet my banker. Were you sleeping? Maybe you have cyber security. Give me my money. In 2 days, the money will be back. But must you go online? At work, I lost a big project with Lagos State government because of this. Lagos State is surrounded by water. I work in London now for Thames Clippers. Thames Clippers is the leading marine transport in London. You'll be seeing them when you're on London Eye or Westminster. You see those white and blue boats, MBNA Thames Clippers. So we went to Lagos, had meetings with LOMA, Lagos State Waterway Authority. We had meetings with the governor and stuff like that. And when I was speaking to my bosses in London, they didn't want to have anything to do with Nigeria because of the record on ground with Virgin Nigeria.
Wow.
All about stealing. I did a good job, invited some other stakeholders who dropped money, went to companies that build vessels, took them abroad to Turkey, to England, took them on a tour, went back to Lagos. Thames Clipper didn't want to have anything to do with Nigeria. So Lagos State had to go through the embassy. And the embassy, you know, they're the government. They now spoke to my company. So my company didn't have a choice because it came from the government. Please allow me to land. So now my company is now dealing with Lagos State government through the embassy. They've cut me, they've cut us off. And this is a business that will go into millions. Jobs will be created for a lot of people. You know, opportunities will be massive. You know, now at the end of this COVID lockdown, I may not have any chance in that business again, simply because somebody does not want to deal with Nigerians because of the record and fraudulent history of Nigerian people. And you're saying it is okay to steal, and you come on social media and glorify these things. Do you know how many Nigerians that are saying, hey, Father, this is the life? All of them would have been employed and be making money from that kind of industry, because it is an industry that will have over 5,000 employees. I'm sorry, it looks I'm getting
I can see you're getting read because it's very personal now. Jude, do you want to comment on this?
Yes. I've got a lot to say. If we start, we won't leave here today. You see, you've all made valid points, but it's nothing to do with Hushpuppy. Hushpuppy is a baby. He's rightly called puppy. Puppies are small dogs. It's a baby. I mean, baby. Have you heard of people they call Eagle Tsunami? Have you heard of Collar and Lucas? Have you heard of the $10? How can $10 prove how he got his money? Can Dangote even prove it, if not by monopolizing the government resources? These people cannot. Nigerians had bad reputation just long time before Puppy was born. before he even grew up to become a dog. You know what I mean? It's been a long time coming. Trust me. Look, when we was growing up, I know you spoke about social media. Social media has brought everything out. We said the rising tide lifts the ship. You will know about ship. So when we were growing up, we had the Ade Benders. We had the Udwas. These guys would come with Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
They look like the real 419s.
Larry Shitu.
When your mother is saying, grab this education, my son, do well, keep a good name, and you come out, you've done all of that, and you see these people who've not had primary 6 certificate going to Spain and back, and 6 months they're blowing up, you get dejected. You're like, wow, what am I doing wrong? If we must question Hushpuppy, we must question Otedola, we must question Dagote. I'm naming names. I'm not afraid of these people.
Please carry on. Yeah, go on.
I once dated a girl who lived in Dubai. When she left the room, she came back, she said, did you touch my credit cards? I was like, this is somebody I was sleeping with. I'm not lying. She asked me, coming back from the toilet, said, did you take pictures of my cards?
Wow.
I'm like, why would you say
That's
that?
very expensive.
For Nigerians, that's what you do. This is somebody who, her and her husband own properties in Dubai. Later, look, Nigerians, we must question it. Look, there's no holding back. If we must question him, we question all of them in Nigeria. Where are they getting this money from? This money, they flash everywhere they go. Me and you, they're not smarter than me and you. No.
You know, Nigeria, when you say we must question them, all those people you're talking about, we know they're thieves. From Dangote, Otedola's dad was a governor in Lagos State. Yeah. Everybody stole money from something to start up something. Okay? Let us be very careful. Everybody is a thief, but
not me.
No, you understand? It's a figurative.
I'm just joking.
It's a figurative speech. I know. But what I'm saying is, when Hushpuppy is stealing, who is he stealing from? Then what is he using the money for? Mm-hmm. Who are his employees? Mm-hmm. Who is benefiting from it? What jobs have you created? Mm-hmm. What have you done positively back to your society? Is it giveaway? How does giveaway solve any man's problem? Can he wake up tomorrow morning 9 a.m. and go and resume at that giveaway spot saying he's doing a job? Otedola's father was a politician. Obviously, as a politician, he must have stolen money. None of them ever had Nigerian interest in their hearts, except for Jack Onday was the only good governor that I can point to in Lagos. Every estate he built, a lot of people grew up in his estates. You know, I wouldn't want to compare Hushpuppy to Nigerian politicians.
I wasn't comparing. What I was trying to say, just
all of them are thieves.
Of our young people coming up, because they will ask me, oh, you can point finger to Hushpuppy. Is it because you can point finger? Why not point? So we must question all of them, put them in the same box.
True.
So that this young people know, oh, they are all thieves. We must not have any of them.
Sorry, Jude, let me go to Victoria. Victoria, giveaway is one of Hushpuppy's jobs. And from what I heard, he's got no landed property. Wow. He's got no business.
Wow.
He's got nothing.
Wow.
So 1.9 million pounds, dollars, dirham has just been spent in Gucci shop, Fendi. You know, when all of these happened, Victoria, before you answer me, I thought Dubai's government needed to be arrested, because I felt this guy can't just be living in Palazzo. Because I went online to check the hotel rates. And from what Hushpuppy showed online, he had spa every day. It's 1,450 dirham per night. And this guy's been living there for 6 years. And
he even have a permanent stay in Dubai.
He didn't have a house. He was staying in this hotel that cost 1,450 pounds or 50 dirham per night. And he's been living there for approximately 6 years. Oh, Victoria, we have bloggers like, maybe, I might be wrong, Sunday Ednot, etc., that showed this guy on his page. And we have a lot of people going into this guy's DM, clamoring for giveaways. Mm-hmm. And no disrespect, I know you don't want to be called an actress, but your colleagues, part of the people that enjoy this guy's largeness, so to say, they celebrate him, they stay in his house, they cook for him, they dine with him. Really? Where is the moral compass? If we can't rely on Generation X, what about Generation Z?
The whole problem starts from self-worth, right? A lot of these people do not have self-worth. You have to love yourself for you to choose certain things for yourself. When you don't love yourself, when you were brought up on survival and not love, you were brought up on survival of the fittest, as in, God forbid there's no food and your mother is the only meat there, you need to stab your mother, roast her meat and eat. So that is how they are. And it all goes back to, I am nobody without you appreciating me. I am nobody without you. These people breathe, their oxygen is from validation from people. Without these people, they die. Without these people, they don't exist. And how do they get these people? Yeah, they are doing giveaway. That's why I said I am the last person. Instead, if I want to help and I really feel somebody needs help, there are lots of help. DM. People, every day you wake up to 20, 30, please, my child is this, my child is that. Wow. I would first of all go into the page. I want to know how long ago you've had that page. Yes, and I'll see that your child. And I want your number, and I will use one of my payers you go for to do a video call with you. I want to see that child, and I will give you that money for you to. But that is because I care about your mental well-being. All these people, all they care about is give them money. See, it's just the normal. You talk about colonialism, white, black colonialism. We are colonizing ourselves. What do? We give them peanuts, and they bow. They lie down and they tell us, step on us. It is still the post-slavery mentality. That is, we are still dealing with it. And post-slavery has denied us of our rights as human beings that feel that they deserve to live a worthy life. Because we feel we are worthless. So we feel the only way we have worth is what we show. And how do we get these things? We make friends, we liaise with these people, we get legacies from them, and then we use it to show off. So it's a continuous pattern. You going on HushPuppy, go to HushPuppy's page. He has 2.4 million followers. Go to Dr. Oz, a professional doctor. Oz, I've been waiting that they call him. Yeah. Who, that is he has created things. Go to any medical professional's page. People that even give medical advice for free. You will see, if they are up to 1,000 followers, then you will. These are professionals, medical doctors, nurses, and psychologists, and the rest. Because the people do not want that truth. They don't want to hear it. Their life is a lie. They don't want to hear the truth. And so they go to these people who validate them, and they validate, and it's a continuous process. The key note is we have lost ourselves. We have lost our self-worth. We are lost. We don't know who we are anymore. We don't know who we are. So we feed off these things, and we think we want to use it to exist. My colleagues are talking about an actress that what she does is wear something sexy, open her boobs, and she's shaking her bum, and then you're seeing 250 likes from her shaking her bum. Right? Yeah. Or she opens her breast. Plastic surgeons are earning more money than medical doctors, than gynecologists, than, because everybody now feels, oh, it is all about my body now. So let's go for it. Even when the plastic surgeons kill them, like the cases they've had in Nigeria, they still go. That's the case we're trashing soon. Yes, they still go, they still support. So what are we really, really saying? We've lost our parents, some of our parents. I was reading something when I talk about being a side chick and everything. And one girl said, Victoria, I beg, we are all products of child chicks, of side chick. So I beg, all this one way they preach. Because my mother is not married to my father. My mother has different children for different men. So me, I don't care. Wow. I don't care. Any married man, as long as he's able to take care of me too, I will continue. We've lost it. And that is just the truth. And this is it, my friend, somebody I know, and she said, Victoria, leave this side chick matter. Right? My mama is a side chick. My grandmother was a side chick. All the females in my family were never married. So what makes me think I deserve to be married? So let's just continue the pattern. And it gets very frustrating for me. And I don't even talk about side chick anymore because I'm tired. There's nothing is. I'm not talking about it.
Sorry, Victoria. Can I just go to Celia for 2 seconds? Because then I want us to round up. What can we do to change? Because there's a problem. There's a serious problem. No one sees us as serious people. I mean, outside of Nigeria, they see us as a joke. They see us as, go to Shade Room, go to all these big blogs, and you see them commenting. Everything with 419 is associated with Nigeria. What do we do? How can we change this narrative? Because we've got children growing up.
It's very painful, it's very painful because for me, I like to take pride in what I do, in who I am. Even though I'm in the UK, I'm very proudly Nigerian, I'm African and I'm Black, and I like to take pride in that. But obviously when people like, Hushpuppy and the likes of him start to do things like this, it kind of makes me feel a bit, it kind of has an effect on my pride, because at the end of the day, you can only say, oh, I don't really care, that's Hushpuppy, it's not me. But it still kind of affects you. Like when I saw your status this morning, Victoria, I was very amped up, like, what nonsense? I'm going to go to Indeed, I'm going to send them an email, until I found out that it was Dubai. And almost immediately I was like, well, given what Hushpuppy has done, they're going to be obviously careful. So I really don't know what we can do, because at the end of the day, you were just talking about a generation of side chicks just now, Victoria, right? The girl that told you, my grandmother, my mother, nobody, my father. So look at that, for example. They say charity begins at home. Right? So if your mother does not even feel it's okay to get married and she can just have you for another married man, then how are you, the offspring of your mother, going to think any differently? Would like to think that as people grow, they get a mind of their own and their thinking is different, their morals become different. But again, it doesn't always happen that way, especially if they grow up in an environment like Nigeria, where these days, people doing things like what Hushpuppy has done are those seen as, oh yes, this is the So I really don't know how we're going to change, but I'm a strong believer in charity begins at home. And so maybe, our government needs to change, okay? People need to be held accountable for their actions, okay? I would still like to know what happened to that money that got burnt, okay, in the secretariat, but I don't think we'll ever find
I doubt it.
So it's just things like that. Look at the Kayamata market in Nigeria.
Hey.
That's another one that's blowing up. How can you be advertising bottles on Instagram and be saying come and buy and lock down demand and these are married? I don't understand it anymore. I'm happy that I'm married, but the whole thing is just my head is messed up. Honestly,
if we need to talk about scamming, there's so many levels to this scamming.
That is scamming itself.
We're talking about Kaya Mata scamming.
Yeah.
Jude, before I go to you, there's a portion of my telephone number that is 419, which I never, since how long I've been in this country, ever even, it doesn't come to mind. Someone rang me up today and be like, Yuri, did you purposely put 419 in your phone?
Yeah, you give yourself your number.
I was like, I don't own T-Mobile. Like, I've had this phone since T-Mobile. Like, T-Mobile is dead now. It's now EE. So that tells you I've been in this country long enough. I didn't choose this number. So, Jude, Celia said it. There's no hope at this junction.
No.
I don't know what we can do.
Jude.
So before I wrap up with the 419 thing, I've woken up most nights and my alarm clock will just be 419. And I told my wife, I was saying, I think the universe is giving me a sign. That's my new job. That's my new job. Oh, that's a sign from God, Anyway, to come back to what Celia was saying, I don't know what the Kayamata market is. I'm beginning to think it's something to do with voodoo or love. Or
It's the same thing. Fraud, scam.
During the colonial times, before our independence, that's why I tell you the problem is endemic in Nigeria. The white people, some of them, not all of them actually came to Nigeria to just swindle us. Some of them actually thought they were coming to do good things. But when they got there, they realized that, wow, these people already have a form of government. Those people struggled. Some of them, they've written books, and I've read some of these books. It said the Nigerian average man is absolutely corrupt. And sending letters to India and far South America, to shamans, to what we call native doctor, send me, they will send them sand, they will send them stick from India. And I'm talking about 100 years ago, Nigerians. They were already doing this to get, so we were always embedded in this get rich quick scheme. Hushpuppy is a puppy, is a baby. Dubai, with Dubai, years ago, we happened to, if I can find those pictures, I took a pose with some of the, I'll call them these guys with the turban in Dubai, some rich guys. They came to do the world skills in Excel. So I was a volunteer for 2 weeks. And they were telling, when they found out I was Nigerian, they were, wow, you guys are rich. I'm like, what? And one of them told me, a pastor, he didn't mention the name. I'm talking about 10 years plus back, who came and was flying around in helicopters, came to buy penthouses. So they already know us for one thing, that we steal our wealth to build their country. And they were willing to accept it. Coming back to what Yuri said about, I thought they should have arrested Dubai's government. No, they knew Hushpuppy from day one was fraud. But they wanted a case to build up a case and seize all his resources. Those resources are theirs now. Simple as everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
It's made their money, innit?
yeah, that's what happens in this country. Those
So many politicians.
yes, they won't
That
return
house
it.
is there.
They will never return it. So Hushpuppy, I still stand by my word, is a puppy. It's a shame that he came up on internet and be showing all of that, but that's the avenue that he has at his disposal now. At that bend the time, he was just driving on the streets. You know, Ajudwa. You remember Ajudwa?
Fred Ajudua as well.
No one can ever be as big as Ajudwa. He was rolling with presidents of countries. So Puppy is a puppy. He was living life, and we knew him without the Instagram, without social media. So Puppy had this avenue. He had to read. Don't forget, I don't know his level of education, but from what I've seen, I'm pretty sure this guy don't have any level of education.
Nah.
That's why.
He doesn't know how to coordinate. His friend Woodbury probably coordinated more than him. Or he actually was, they call him a lad thief now. He brought everyone out to social media, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying I should have gone to teach him how to coordinate. I'm not saying what he did was wrong or right. And what I'm trying to say is this is the avenue he had to flaunt his wealth. So he had to put it out there. So I'm not blaming him for that. What he did is so wrong. It's not just giving us bad names. Bad names been coming from a long time.
I'll let you round up and then I'll close off.
So just like Jude said, everything has been spoiled from the foundation. It's not just now. The politicians, they're a mess. Our girls have turned to Olosho. Our boys have become Yahoo Yahoo. Now everybody is just surviving. It's okay. You can survive. But don't let your survivor look like somebody who is legitimate, is a stupid guy or is a fool.
Exactly.
You get me? People, you can be. Look at this boxer,
Anthony Joshua.
Mayweather.
Mayweather,
You see the way
yeah.
he goes about with money, because he's not educated. That's his lifestyle. That's his Hushpuppy. The only difference is Mayweather is legitimate. Hushpuppy is a scammer. You get me? It's a lifestyle. I understand, but there are some things. There are some level you attain in life that you start to look back and be like, okay, hold on, I'm a different person now. You know, this guy, Eligaza, he did not go to school.
Yeah.
Eligaza is very rich, but Eligaza is not loud. You will not see Eligaza doing loud now. Eligaza employs master degree holder, degrees holder, you know, everything. Is a I will call him an economist, an honorary economist, because he's doing well. But truth of the matter is, he too, they built their wealth based on loans from banks. Back in the days, there is this, was it national? I've forgotten the name of the bank, because I had people working in that bank back in the day. That bank is dead now. Many of these rich people, they started from somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. In Nigeria, which politician is not a scammer? All of them are scammers. All of them are scammers. But we have to re-educate ourselves. There are loads of millionaires in Nigeria who did not go to school, but they live life quietly. He could have lived life quietly, but I understand that his personality is the loud one, the Yoruba version of Mayweather. But I've done things.
Don't let Yoruba people come for you, you know. Are you
I'm
trying
a
to say we're
Yoruba man.
loud?
I'm a Yoruba man.
They're
But
loud.
the matter is, He could have just
Yeah,
done
what are you
things.
shaking your head for?
So it's not something
Yourself.
Yoruba.
Look, I know we can go on and on and on, but I think the take home here for everyone on this panel, from myself to Celia to Jude to Jagwajanti and to Victoria, is that fraud actually does not pay. Okay, so you can do it for as long as you think you can do it for, and one day, at a precise moment, you will be embarrassed on a national scale, as Hushpuppy has done.
It's
So,
only a
for all
matter.
the scammers out there, okay, one day they say it's for the owner, or what is it? Every day it's for the thief. One day it's for the owner. Now, Ramani, in his all glory and efforts, because he took pictures with Naomi Campbell, took picture with every posh girl you can think of. There are 2 girls I wanted them to be arrested with him, but that didn't happen. They would have to go visit him in prison very soon. And that explains how life is. Vanity upon vanity. Gucci, Fendi, all of them, all the apparels, all the top stores go to him, you know, recognize him very well. I wish they would make him an orange jumpsuit. But we'll leave it at that. Just to let you know, no, honestly, it's very frustrating as Nigerians, because we're all Nigerians on this panel. We work hard.
Yeah.
Every Saturday that you see this come out, this show comes out. It takes a lot for myself, Celia, and every panelist to see that you see here. Give it 110%. And like Victoria said, we don't have 2.5 million people following us.
No.
And we give
Even to view the video.
Please watch our video.
But let's come our breast now. Let's just open our breast.
Oh yes.
Hey.
There.
No, but Oji, you're married. Yori, we need to open our boobs.
I'm married too, but I can't bring the boobs out.
Okay. I can't bring it out. No, but what my point is, in my own this thing, I feel our mental health is being jeopardized.
We
Now,
Nigerians.
forget the least of the problem is the police arresting him. That's the least. Do you know solitary confinement? Being in a room alone. This is what we've done a lot of research in psychology. See, locking someone up in a room, all the demons in this world go through the person's head. So
I'm sure they know from the lockdown. They've tested it.
no, that lockdown, at least you can walk from the sitting room to the bathroom. You can watch television. You can.
It's not easy.
In prison, it's just you in that cubicle with nothing. First, they've not been sentenced. Don't forget. So they've all just been locked. Custody. Custody is bad, and that is why they frustrate them to begin to talk. Because in custody, they begin to hallucinate. All the demons, any spirits that died due to their fraud will visit them. That's why a lot of them, in the prison industry, nurses and psychologists are so well, they're in such demand, because that is when the demons begin to show up, and that is the ultimate punishment. It is not even the case and everything. No. The ultimate punishment. That's why you see them on suicide watch. Very soon they'll put them on suicide watch.
Wow.
And Yuri, just before you round up quickly, you said something about people will go and visit them. Nobody's going to go and visit them. Well, let me just tell you now.
Are you sure?
Nobody will go because nobody wants to be tied to them. So he's on his own. He's on his own.
Remember the Delta State Governor, Ibori? Do you know how many babes go? Don't leave that thing. We're Africans. You see a lot of us
Here we go.
we are sad. Ibori was a celebrity in prison here.
That being said, there's a prayer group growing up on, like, it's amassing a lot of people now on social media. It's called Pray for Hushpuppy Release.
Wow.
Is any of you a member?
Nah, sorry.
No,
I've got too many things to pray for. I can't add that one to it.
Do you see how deluded or how crazy people are to form a prayer group for Hushpuppy? No, that's the thought I want us to close on. So, guys, thank you for watching. Like I said, we need 2.5 million people to be following this show, because we do put out authentic content.
Yeah.
We're not stealing content. We work hard for you guys to enjoy and have these beautiful panel, intelligent panelists come talk to you. So until next week, Saturday, myself, Celia, Jude, Jagwajantis, and Victoria will be in the chat room on YouTube, going live, where we ash out this topic. You know, Hushpuppy might decide to phone in so we could tell him about himself. Until next week, yes. Wait, I'm top. Until next week, Thanks for joining us. And trust me, there's no game, or there's no game in you stealing people's money. If it's your 95, trust me, your 95 will take you to places. If it's a business, put your 110% into it and cash in and cash out. Don't be using other people's stimulus money that is meant for ventilators to be living a fake life you can't even afford on your own hustle. I think I'm tired.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye. See you next week.